Regency, one of the two Western business hotels at the time. And as we stood there, in the polished marble lobby and plant-filmed atrium, I remembered that the word Xi'an means Western peace. The Hyatt seemed transplanted directly from any American urban center. On the way to breakfast the first morning, we came across a couple of Chinese vendors selling clothes in a small conference room on the mezzanine. Not just any clothes. Spread out across a half-dozen folding tables were Gucci and Versace men's loafers, Givenchy men's shirts and socks, Versace sweaters, Calvin Klein underwear, Gucci sweaters with tags in them that read, "Designed in Italy," and hanging on a garment rack in the corner, a couple of Burberry men's trench coats. Some of the items were obviously fake. Several of the Versace shirts were labeled Verla in the same font. And I knew that Chinese factories turned out counterfeit goods of every sort. But some looked suspiciously authentic. I picked up the Gucci loafers. They were made of good quality leather, well stitched, with a slight mod design to them. Just like the shoes you find in Gucci stores on Rodeo Drive or Madison Avenue. My husband tried on one of the alleged Burberry trenches. It, too, was well made, and with all the Burberry details just right. We asked the price. No one in the room spoke English, but a thin 20-something Chinese girl pulled out a calculator and tapped out the price, $120. The regular price for a Burberry men's classic trench is $850. My husband said he'd think about it. We stopped by the concierge desk to ask about the provenance of the goods. Most were legitimate, the concierge told us, and had slight defects, were from an overrun, or simply didn't fit into the shipping container. The next morning, we went by the room to buy the trench. The entire operation had disappeared. What, I wondered, was this all about? The luxury goods industry, as it is known today, is a $157 billion business that produces and sells clothes, leather goods, shoes, silk scarves, and neckties, watches, jewelry, perfume, and cosmetics that convey status and a pampered life, a luxurious life. 35 major brands control 60% of the business, and dozens of smaller companies account for the rest. Several, including Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, Giorgio Armani, Hermes, and Chanel, have annual revenues in excess of $1 billion. Most luxury goods companies that we know today were started a century or more ago as simple one-man or one-woman shops that sold beautiful handcrafted pieces. Today, those companies still carry the founders' names, but are, for the most part, owned and run by tycoons who in the last 2 decades have turned them into multibillion-dollar corporations and omnipresent global brands. They cluster their stores on main city avenues, in airports, in outlet malls. Their advertisements fill magazines and blanket billboards. Their primary customers are upper-income women between 30 and 50 years old. In Asia, the customer base veers younger, starting at 25. Walk up to a luxury brand store, and a dark-suited man with a listening device tucked in his ear will silently pull open the heavy glass door. Inside, there is a hush as slim, demurely dressed sales assistants await you in a posh, minimalist space in neutral tones with chrome accents. The first thing you'll encounter are shelves full of the brand's latest fashion handbags, as well as its classic designs, displayed like sculptures, each lighted with its own tiny spotlight. Glass cases are filled with monogram-covered wallets, billfolds, and business card holders. The lower-priced entry-level items aimed at aspirational middle-market customers. Chances are, the slim assistants will make the sale right there in the very first room. Through calculated marketing strategies and with the support of fashion magazines, luxury